My name's Cameron. I'm going to be talking about the key learnings I've had from the Lockheed-Martin Leadership Institute so far. I'm going to start off with my vision statement, which is to change a whole world. It's okay if you change the entire planet. It's okay if you change just one person's world. And it's okay if you change something in between. Just change a whole world. As you can see, change is the big aspect of my vision statement, and the biggest part of changing other people is changing myself. The way I do this is learning new things. One of the things that I've learned so far in the Leadership Institute is a cycle of renewal. The cycle of renewal is the different stages that you can find yourself in, whether it be the go for it stage where everything's fully aligned, the doldrums where things are not going your way, cocooning where you are trying to recover from the doldrums, and exploring where you're looking for new opportunities. It's okay to realize that everybody's not going to be in the go for it stage all the time, and it's healthy to realize that everybody goes through the cycle. Not everybody can stay in the go for it stage, and you won't be in the doldrums forever. It was a really interesting class activity that we did, and it was really helpful for me to recognize the stage I was in and to help me get on the track to getting back to the go for it stage. Another thing that I found really interesting was our talks about unconscious bias. We had an entire conference on it called the Blind Spots Conference, where we talked about all the different things that can affect the way we behave without us knowing it. These can be things about gender or race that we don't anticipate to affect our behavior, but they still do. It is a person's duty and responsibility to be aware of these biases and start to combat them in their daily lives. Another thing that's really interesting are the saboteurs and sages that we talked about that was presented to us by cohort 6 members. The saboteurs being things that keep us from reaching our full potential, and the sages are the superpowers, so to say, that can allow us to achieve something that we thought was beyond ourselves. This has been really helpful for me to be aware of my saboteurs and to limit them from affecting the way I behave. Another thing that I found to be practically really helpful was a public speaking presentation that we got from an Institute member named Matt. It was all about how public speaking is a skill that needs to be developed, and it can only be developed through practice. Confidence is key when it comes to public speaking, and you can only gain confidence by speaking in front of people as much as you possibly can. Public speaking is a distinguishing skill. It can set you apart from other people and help you be remembered when other people wouldn't be. Another really interesting topic that has probably been the most impactful on me was focus. We watched an entire video on it by Daniel Goleman, and it was all about how focus is how well we bounce back from the mental wander-offs that we have. Mental wander-offs can be where you're trying to pay attention to something and your mind just goes to some entirely different place and you catch yourself. It's when you catch yourself and how well you're able to rejoin the conversation and rejoin the topic that defines how well you're able to focus. And it takes practice. It's a very intentional practicing that if you're not paying attention to, well, you won't improve your focus. Another thing that I've been able to do in the Institute is to analyze my strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Some of my strengths are my ability to cooperate and include people in groups. I'm good at analyzing and thinking critically, and just overall being able to be a bridge between people with very different ideas. Some of my weaknesses are that I tend to take over groups where there is no clear leader, and that can sometimes shut down people who have really good ideas. I can improve that by being able to listen better and focus on other people more than my own ideas. Another weakness I have is to be overly critical of myself and my talents, and this comes with me not reflecting on the different strengths and abilities that I already have and not valuing them as much as I should. I have a lot of opportunities. Being a sophomore in college, there are lots of different internships and research opportunities I can get where I can gain so much experience as a professional and so many different experiences that will shape who I will be in the future. Some threats to this are that I'm not unique in my aspirations. I'm a definitely unique person, but I'm not unique in the things that I'm shooting for. This requires me to sell myself better than others and to just win those opportunities as best I can. For the future, in the next 6 months or so, I want to be able to gain an internship or research opportunity so that I can start building real-world experience. When I want to change things, I know I'm going to need to have experience, and this is one of the best ways I can do it. Whether or not I gain an opportunity will be an indicator of success, and how well that opportunity fits me is another good sign of if I'm doing well in that or not. I want to improve my ability to listen. We talked a lot about active listening and how we're not supposed to instantly know what we're going to say as soon as someone starts talking. We want to be able to let people finish their thoughts before we begin our own. And that's something that I've been challenging myself in my daily life. And signs of whether or not I'm doing that will be my overall retention of knowledge from people I'm having conversations with, and it should also be reflected in my grades in school because I'll be able to understand what's going on in my classes even better. The last thing I want to improve is start working towards my go for it stage. It's just going to be down to eliminating things in my life that I don't need and starting to pick up things that I do to help me align with what I want to be. And that's just something that I'm going to have to know in my gut when I do it. Just to close up, I want to say I've learned so much already, and I know I have a lot more to learn. I'm really excited about how I'm going to change in the years to come because I've already changed so much over the past few months. Thank you.